All right, so things in your life have got exciting. You know, you're driving in bad road conditions, somebody's attacking you, whatever it is, you have a fear response going on. Understanding what your body's doing will help you control it. So the first thing you have to understand is your nervous system has two parts. There's the somatic part of your nervous system, which you voluntarily control. So if I reach into my pocket and pull out my wallet, that's the somatic nervous system. And then there's the autonomic nervous system, which is all the housekeeping stuff that's controlling your heart rate and your blood pressure and all the chemical things that are going on. All the things that you do to keep you alive and keep your body functioning nominally that you don't think about on a regular basis. So, you know, when was the last time you thought about your heart rate, or you thought about the blood pumping through your body, or you thought about, you know, what hormones are being released at any particular time? Probably a long time, if ever. Now, when you have a fear response, the autonomic system kicks in and it dumps a number of hormones into your system that are somewhat beneficial but have some bad things also. And the key is balance. So I'm going to teach you how to control that to some degree so that you have the good parts of it and not the bad parts of it. Now, the autonomic nervous system has is all the stuff that you don't think about, your digestion, your respiration, perspiration, all that sort of stuff. And also includes your breathing. Now, when was the last time you thought about breathing? And probably until I said something about it, it's probably been a long, long time. But breathing is the bridge between the somatic and the autonomic nervous system. It is the one thing that you can control on the autonomic side. And if you control it, you can actually affect a lot of the rest of the autonomic side. So if I ask you to, you know, stop digesting your last meal, could you do that? And the answer is no. If I asked you to, you know, drop your heart rate by 10 beats per minute, could you do that? And you probably can't. But if I asked you to hold your breath for 20 seconds, could you do that? Sure. And this is the key. And you may have heard this term before, and there's a number of different names for it, and it's all the same exact thing. It's Buddha breathing, belly breathing, tactical breathing, combat breathing, square breathing. It has a whole bunch of names, but it's all the same thing. And what it is taking control of your breath, and that affects the rest of the autonomic system. So what it looks like is you inhale slowly for a count of 3 or 4, whatever's comfortable for you, and it is filling up the diaphragm, using the diaphragm to fill up the lungs as full as possible, and slowly and steadily. And then once that's accomplished, you stop and hold it for the same count of 3 or 4. And then exhale fully for that same 3 or 4 count. Pause, empty for that 3 or 4 count. And then repeat the process. And 2 weeks ago, I had my instructor cadre out, and we were doing some first aid practice, trauma response. And we were practicing this, and I had everybody check their at-rest pulse, and we were all in the 70s. And I had them do 4 repetitions of this breathing process, and we checked the pulse again. We were all down into the 50s. So a very quick thing, it takes you about 30 seconds to do, and you can substantially lower your heart rate and take control over that autonomic process. And 4 repetitions will lower your blood pressure 20%. And so by doing that, it will negate some of the bad things of this autonomic response you're having to this fearful situation. So once again, fully inhale for 3 or 4, pause, exhale for that same count, fully pause, and then start over again. You're saying, Peter, how am I going to do this in the middle of a fight? You don't do this necessarily in the middle of the fight. You do this as you're responding to it. So if you're a police officer, you've just got a call, you're driving code to a bad situation, you can do this in that period of time. And think about it, you know, you're hearing the radio calls coming in, you're hearing the dispatcher, maybe you're hearing the complainant, and things are desperate, maybe there's an officer down, and you're getting yourself more and more wound up. By doing this breathing, you will calm yourself down, take control of what's going on in your system, and you'll be much better able to deal with it as you get there. Maybe you're driving in bad weather conditions, and you know you're finding yourself getting tense and nervous and upset because it's frightening. You know, same thing. Concentrate on your breathing, and you will calm yourself down. You'll be able to function better. Maybe you're clearing your house. You think there's an intruder in your house and you're looking for him. You will have time to do this. Think about your breathing, slow and steady, pausing at the full, pausing at the empty, and it will keep you in control of your body. It's another Tuesday's Tactical Tip of the Week. I'm Peter Burlingame. Thanks for watching. Be safe out there.